performances we have for you tonight. I've been really impressed with these guys. They've worked really hard. We have some ambitious pieces and put them together and with a lot of diligent practice, but a short amount of time. So I'm really proud of their efforts. And we wanted you to join us tonight in a celebration of spring. So I'm sure over the past few weeks you've noticed the leaves unfurling and the grass turning green and the rivers beginning to flow and the flowers blooming. And so in our performance tonight, we're going to share a spirit of wonder for nature, an appreciation for the good in the world, and also unity and friendship. So just quickly before we start, I'd like to recognize a handful of people. So first, this choir is really a resurrection of the choir, which existed many years ago under Bruce Fairley's direction. And so I'm grateful first for him doing that in the past, and also in giving us one very recent lovely Christmas celebration. We also have a fabulous choir committee that's been willing to jump in and do anything they can to help. So first, I hold Yolanda DeClaire responsible for anything that happens tonight. She was the one to pin me down and get me to commit to being choir director. And since then, she's been my right-hand woman and has been instrumental in coordinating everything, setting up rehearsals, acting as our liaison with the church, taking care of choir distribution emails, and suggesting musical numbers, setting up our choir YouTube list, on and on and on. Carol Clemens, also our wonderful secretary, has kept us very strictly on task. And Farah Trotling did all of our marketing, our beautiful poster, the program you have, and helped coordinate our flutes for Addie Amos. Glynis Phillips did our bookkeeping and helped us pay for our music and supplies. Nick Langley helped coordinate rides and foster community in the choir. And of course, the wonderful and talented Ruth Ratzlaff. She's been our untiring and fantastic pianist, and also kept track of all the music for us. And others not on the committee also jumped in and helped immensely. So we want to thank Pastor Richard Campo for enabling us to use this building, and Gloria Lowe for aiding with sound and helping with rehearsal setup. And Rob DeClaire for doing the sound tonight. We can copy. And Sue Goldtop is a soundboard and helping me get this off the ground, although she's out of town. And then my family over here has been an incredible enabler, so we'll just talk about the handsome Ed Stevenson video recording in the back. He's done all sorts of things, from staying home from skiing to purchase music I selected to scanning and uploading music late at night and taking care of. He's been the choir nanny, so I wanted to make sure anybody could come to choir that had kids, so he's watched kids and taken care of people and cheered us on. And then, as I mentioned, the choir's been really dedicated. So one night, I accidentally kept them a half hour longer than I was supposed to, and nobody said a word, even though I remember thinking, like, why are their eyes getting glazed over? And then some of them actually asked for longer practices, which I was like, and then subgroups met between rehearsals frequently and helped catch people up who were traveling. People practiced on vacation. And Cheryl Clausen is unable to attend tonight, but she led the altos each week in practice and helped us with our dress rehearsal. So we really appreciate her. And then I want to highlight Cheryl. our youngest member of choir, Malcolm Lavenville. We're really happy to have him. He fills out our bass and sings all the time and has a beautiful voice. So we're really grateful for this fantastic choir, and thank you to all of you for joining us tonight. Our first number is I Believe in Springtime. It's composed by John Rutter, an English composer. And Rutter is agnostic, but states that when he writes sacred music, he believes every word. This song walks us through the beauty of springtime, and it details everything from sunbeams and tiny sprouting green things to soaring eagles and tall mountains. I Believe in Springtime will make you not only believe in springtime, but in sharing, trying, dreaming, and trusting.
I believe in springtime.
letting us use their beautiful building for both rehearsals and this concert. Wagner's song describes beautifully how hope can lift us out of darkness as the sun rising or winter turning to spring. Hope grows. Whaley, and I had a few people wonder why we were doing a Frozen song at a spring concert, so I have to explain it a little bit. The next song we will do, you'll notice without Ruth, our lovely pianist, but we do have the rhythmic genius Mel Stoltz accompanying us on the djembe drum. Mel is a self-taught musician whose rhythm has bubbled out throughout tapping or movement since childhood, and I know you'll enjoy that part of this. I designed this concert hoping that the music would appeal to everyone from any background or religious persuasion. The Whaley is written by Norwegian Sami Freud Thalheim, and you probably know it from Disney, but it actually came a long time before Disney. It was written 17 years before as Song of the Earth in 1996. And what the original piece was a Danish hymn that combined a yoik Sami melody. But in Frozen, it's sort of patterned after that. So it's the fictitious Northuldra, and they are an indigenous group that herds reindeer, and they live in the enchanted forest. And of course, they're deeply spiritual and connected to nature. So you may not be super familiar with yoik or the Sami, and so I'm going to give you just a little bit of an introduction about them. They're the indigenous people of northern Norway and Sweden, Finland, and part of Russia. And in Norway, they really are known for reindeer herding, fishing, hunting, doigi handicrafts, and also their hospitality. Also, they invented yoik. And yoik is singing with syllables and rhythms, but not with real words. In this musical style, it frees the performer and also the listener from focusing on the words and lets rhythm and sound create an experience intended to conjure feelings and imagery. So they talk about singing things into being. So yoik is used spiritually to connect with nature. It was also used in rituals. And it was also used to calm the reindeer down and bond them to their herders. Yoik is considered one of the oldest musical traditions, but it was suppressed for hundreds of years, tragically, when newcomers come and didn't really understand it. But yoik has made a major renaissance in the 1970s. So speaking of this, connection to nature and intuition, it makes me think about, a lot of the animals around us and wondering, do you ever think about, how do the bears know when it's time to get fat and when it's time to go to their dens? And how do the turtles know that they're supposed to go back and find their home beach to have their babies, traveling thousands of miles, and all the birds that know exactly when to leave for migration and where to go. And sometimes you just think, why are humans so lacking in intuition and completely disconnected from our natural world? You kind of think that most of us are kind of hard-pressed to notice that the sun only sets in the west or the east at equinox, and the rest of the time it's somewhere, else, something north or south, and we don't know what the moon's phase is, we can't predict the weather, we just look at our smartphones and going outside. But raising my 4 small children, we became really interested in connecting with nature. It's so natural for children, and the children love marking the phases of the moon, celebrating solstice and equinox. We've really gotten into diagramming the stars and how they travel across the sky. They also seem more skilled at feeling, being, existing, and connecting. So if you want to get more connected to nature, or if you need an escape from your current reality, step into the images that we sing into being, images of nature, ancestry, and spirituality in our song, Bueli.
Na hey ya la yo nu
tricky rhythms in it. But I just like it so much. I hope you really enjoy it. But it reminded me of my childhood, and I remember running through my yard and checking very enthusiastically the progress of spring. I would bring a measuring tape, I'd bring yarn and chalk, and I'd mark where the trees were getting to and how big the flowers were growing. I'd examine each bud every day and see if I could ever catch a flower unfurling. I'd check the snow patches and the saggy patches and even the snow mold. That's pretty cool. And I'd touch the velvety leaves of the lilac and look closely at their tiny flowers when they finally popped open. Have you ever looked at a clump of yarrow and tried to count how many little florets are in there? There are hundreds. Have you ever looked deep inside a tulip or an iris and just wondered if that's maybe where Thumbelina lives, or if there's some secret in there? I haven't outgrown these impulses, as my children can tell you. I still kind of run out through the yard and look at everything and see how everything's growing and get super excited. So this is what this song is about. It's written by Amy Vernon as a celebration of the arrival of spring. And in our beautiful Columbia Valley, it's easy to picture the mountains covered in green, the rivers once icy now flowing, and the promises of good things to come. up with called On a Golden Springtime, written by Virginia Cammey and composed by Crawford Gates of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I rearranged this piece for my children to sing on an Easter Sunday, and I thought you would enjoy it today for its celebration of spring. I ended up attending university in the States at age 17, and I had many wonderful experiences and met many wonderful people, including my husband. But there were lots of times that I felt like a polar bear, stranded on a desert island, for a variety of reasons, beyond the weather. We were finally able to bring the family back to Canada almost 1 year ago, about I think a week or so. It'll have been here for our 1 year anniversary. And when I arrived, I asked around for the possibility to join an interfaith choir. I joined the orchestra and became involved with a number of people that helped connect me, including Kendall Dews, Jeff Belinsky, Sue Gold, Rosanna Nickel, Bruce Fairley, Charles Callis, and Yolanda Clear. And I was told there were a bunch of beautiful voices desperate for a choir, but they needed a conductor. And so, like we mentioned, we kind of rebirthed this choir out of Bruce's former creation. But when I thought about what this choir's purpose was, I we landed on building community, unity, happiness, and belonging by making unified sounds together. And I hope that choir would be a place everyone felt safe and at home, a place everyone felt welcomed and like they belonged. I'm told I've been a bit of a taskmaster in choir and have been sort of demanding. But the reason I'm demanding is because I feel like the magic of choir is when everyone is completely in tune with each other, listening, feeling, seeing, breathing, doing everything together, all with the same mind and heart. And we've been part of some of those magical moments tonight when you could tell there was such unity. And there are more of those to come. Those are the moments we feel not only that we belong, but also that we have an important role in our universe and something bigger than ourselves. Whether after a move or in a new situation or just feeling change stirring within ourselves, I think everyone at times feels unsettled, perhaps like they don't fit in or like they're without a friend. Sarah Cortell's piece, All the Way Home, sings of friendship, belonging, strength, and joy in song. So we hope you feel welcome and at home as we sing All the Way Home. fall in love. Owl from Bambi states, nearly everybody gets Twitter pated in the springtime, right? He describes going about just minding your own business, and suddenly you run smack into a pretty face, and a chaotic state ensues in which you get weak in the knees, lose your head, and walk on air. So our next piece is They Say It's Spring, written by American Bob Haynes and composed by Marty Clark. This arrangement is by Greg Jaspers. We will be treated with trumpet and saxophone solos by Joan and Jeff Dolinsky and a vocal solo by Jade Larville. Joan and Jeff are lifetime musicians. They're founding members of and still play with the Purcell Mountain Orchestra, as well as 3 local bands in Golden. And you will fall in love with Jade's beautiful voice in this song as she helps you consider if this romantic feeling is just the spring weather or something else.
When I was young, I lived in a world of dreams, of moods and myths and illusionary schemes. Though now I'm much more grown up, I fear that I must own up to the fact that
listen or hear in pseudo-Latin. This is another yoik song where the distraction of language is removed. Adiamus is intended to have a universal sound, blending Celtic-style melodies with African tribal musical influences. You will hear two flutes, an indigenous flute and the djembe, again, drum in this piece. Bara, who's been playing music since she was a tot and also has a formal music degree, coordinated the flute parts in this song. Anna Cholo, a wonderful self-taught musician in the Purcell Mountain Orchestra, is on the flute. And, yes. And Mel Stoltz will again enchant us on the drum. Now this score requests an indigenous pipe, and I was thrilled when Karen Nagao volunteered to play her Native American flute. Karen is Métis of French and Cree ancestry with roots in the St. Louis area of Saskatchewan. And besides the Native American flute, her ancestors played instruments like the fiddle, spoons, jaw harp, and the comb. So maybe next time we'll get some more. Karen taught me that the Native American flute was invented over 1,400 years ago. And there are several Anasazi flutes that date back to 620 AD that were found in northern Arizona. They're often made of cedar, as Karen says here. The original flute was said to have been gifted by a woodpecker who picked holes in a hollow tree and created music as the wind blew. Up close, you can notice the bird flock, which represents this origin and which guides the voice of the flute. It connects the player to nature and to the creator. While sitting on its nest, it directs air over the air channel under the mouthpiece and into the true sound hole. Sorry, that was a slow air channel into the true sound hole. So these flutes are used in ceremony and also socially, sometimes to win a maiden's heart or to encourage rain, which seems perfectly fitting for a spring concert. This instrument is not easy to play and comes with no instruction manual. So Karen and Bara and Anna too worked hard to figure out what fingering corresponds to what pitches and how to use breath to create different sounds. I'm very honored that Karen is sharing her heritage and her talents with us. She plays very beautifully and creates such a compelling sound. So what does the flute say to you? What does it call you to feel, do, or be? Reflect on that and enjoy this ambitious and fun piece.